proposal. There was never one that was accepted by the county, but it appears that he may have relied upon, or kind of in carrying out that offer, was not taking his salary, because the information that I got from Debbie Kelly and provided to you is that for the last 2 years, he has not requested the compensation for being the county medical officer and hasn't received it, so.
One thing with that, if it is an MOU with the hospital, like you were saying, they have no authority to obligate the county. And the county health officer is the Board of Health and Commission that make that decision. So I think they're kind of throwing two things into the pot and seeing how they'll mix.
Well,
Like that.
the county health officer does have to be an individual.
No, what I'm saying is the hospital isn't the one who selects that person or writes that contract, it's the county.
Right.
So if he's referring to an MOU with the hospital, it's irrelevant.
Right, right. So I guess what, at this point, the ball's in our court. So, I'm kind of wondering if this, what is your pleasure? Would one of you commissioners be willing to kind of have the next conversation with these guys to move this along? I think it would be helpful.
I think it should be all three of us, if we can. But I think our plan is grounded in facts from area professionals. They mentioned just one, but there were several that we reached out to. And again, it's just my core, but government should not undercut private business. I think we've done that for the past 2 years, and I'm not comfortable doing it anymore. I'm not sure that I feel that there's any wiggle room in our lease, personally. I think it's more than fair. I think it's absolutely fair. And I think any business would be considering it to be fair if they were looking at the overall picture of what's available in the community. So that's just where I'm sitting. I'm open to debate if you guys have anything. I see a lot of issues with this letter.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was a non-for-profit, it'd be a whole different conversation, but this is for profit, and I think we're bound by statute to follow that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, it's not some arbitrary thing that we came up with. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make for,
Yeah.
when people think about this. The other thing too that I see here is, they say the building's very old, requires extensive costly repairs, that would be the county's financial responsibility to bring this building up. He's been in that building for how many, for what, 2 years? Since the county got it back. What has he done? Has he showed any good faith for trying to maintain the building? Apparently they've worked on the roof. I understand that they've done some work there. I've asked our county buildings guy to go and plug some of the holes around there, just to keep the animals out and some of the weathers and things like that while we're in transition to deciding what needs to be done here. So I guess in all leases that I've been involved in the past, the building was a responsibility of whoever owns it.
Well, the problem with that is
But with that in mind, what I'm saying is, if we're charging whatever amount we decide on to lease it to them, I don't think we're out of line if we were required to maintain it.
if we are, or
If we are, if
Yeah.
that's how it comes, what it comes down to. I tell you
the problem is the condition we got it from the hospital.
Correct, yeah. That's right.
That's really the problem.
It is. You're right.
Well, Dwight told us in a public meeting that they had been doing those repairs, and
Mhm.
other than the repairs needed for the roof, it was in good shape. Which is fine, when we go to sell this now in 2 years, or one, then it may be a viable building for somebody to buy.
Sure.
I certainly hope so, but according to the person I talked to, you put it in your lease agreement. You're responsible, and she had said, doorknobs, carpet, they're responsible.
Sure.
Roof, a hole in the wall, we're responsible. The idea being, we wanna keep that as a viable building, but we don't wanna get into every little
Right.
thing.
You're right. I mean, that part of the internal type, day-to-day stuff, yes,
Yeah.
they should be responsible for that. But as far as the building itself, that really kind of is on us.
But I think,
But
like we were told, it's in
we
good
could
shape
do it either
now.
way. That's a
Yeah.
negotiating
Right,
point for us, of how we want to set that up, so.
yeah. And we could do a cost share too, if they
Sure.
wanted a new roof, for example, and our maintenance said, yes, this is a good idea. We could write into the lease agreement, it would be a 50-50 cost share.
Right, yeah. And I think there's some other things that we talked about too, in light of the fact of the new water rates and things like that. I think one of the suggestions that we were gonna handle all the utilities, I don't think that's something we need to do. I think that should be on them.
Right, I was thinking just water and sewer, or
Mhm.
water and, was it sewer?
Yeah, and then there was, Michael, what's related to the city, was it the lights or lighting or something
The
else?
lighting district,
Yeah,
that'd be on them,
okay,
Yeah.
again, right.
yeah.
There's a couple other things that we were talking about there.
All his utilities are his responsibility,
Right,
the gas, the electricity, and the lighting.
and the water.
Mhm.
The water and sewer
And so, yeah.
are in our name, but that would be an add-on to his rent.
Mhm.
His rent would be X amount of, like, I think he said 39 cents a square foot, plus city utilities.
And then that's a way we could do that as well.
And that way, if the utilities in the city go up anymore, then he has to pay that in.
Okay, and then I'm okay with that as well.
I am too,
Yep.
yep,
And that money comes to the county, and then the county pays the city water and sewer. So we don't get stuck with the bill after he's moved out.
yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that,
Sure.
yeah.
See, now, the second page, the second paragraph says, in conclusion, Dr. Campbell proposes that he be allowed to continue leasing the clinic building for the next 2 years based upon the same $5,000 annual compensation that he and the county agreed to in 2017. We never agreed to anything in 2017.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess the whole thing with the lease automatically renewed, we've never had a lease. So how can the lease
It's-
automatically renew?
Well, a couple things, and that's why I said it's clear there was a purpose written for this. Number one, he's saying if we want to strictly follow the statutes dealing with commercial leases, then here's what would happen. And what they're saying was an understanding from when, after the hospital gave it to the county, that they basically followed and performed by action an agreement. Well, it was never an agreement, it was a proposal that was never finalized, so it's, way back when I talked about equity, when the courts look at, in the absence of an agreement, you look at your actions to determine if there was an agreement. That's what he's relying on here.
And
So-
I think we've compromised pretty well by not selling it immediately and allowing a lease for a year, maybe two.
So what's our, we're gonna tell him.
Well, Well, I mean, first off, they need to have the documents to support some of the claims they made here, that we talked about. The memorandum, he waived his $5,000 annual premium, disagreement that we just talked about, signed in 2017. What I see here is I think there's a lot of stuff that was done maybe with THS that he feels transfers over to the county that I don't believe it does. There's a little bit of confusion there on that. If there's actual agreements that were signed with the county, then we need to see them.
So we're still talking 2 years?
No. I'm not gonna guarantee 2 years.
I'd say based on this letter, I'm good with one.
And we'll see how it goes.
And then maintenance, what's the answer on maintenance?
So what you're saying is a 1-year lease until February of 2020, or March or whatever.
That's it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Probably be like March 31st or April 1st, since we're at
Yeah,
a week from
so
March.
when we get this figure, yeah.
And then on maintenance, what do you want
Well,
what do you
we
want to tell them on
have a-
maintenance?
I mean, as far as for the physical structure of the building, I think that we probably should maintain that. But things inside are,
We have
It
some
is.
language
Mhm.
from another lease agreement, and it says, except as provided, the leasee will keep the roof, basic structure and exterior of the building in which the leased premises are located in good repair. That'd be their responsibility. And agree to make necessary structural repairs promptly upon notice from the county. The parties agree that in the event of damage by the elements or acts of nature occurring during the term of the lease, the county will not be responsible or liable for any such damage to any property, fixtures, or equipment. Pretty solid statement, I think. And there's also a B and C, maintenance and repair, keep in good order. All maintenance and normal upkeep is the responsibility of the leasee and performed at their expense.
I think also we were talking about there, though, we need to have some type of inspection from our maintenance guy to make sure that's being done.
Yes. The county has the right to enter the leased premises for the purpose of making such repairs upon the failure, but we should also put in here that there would be an expectation of periodic inspections and maintenance. And those should be defined, I would think, as Mike was appropriate.
And I would also hope that he would carry his own insurance for his own personal property, right?
I think that'd be a requirement. And this template had insurance in it somewhere.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If a patient were to come and fall coming in the premises there,
I can't hear you, Jeannie.
if a patient were to fall coming in the premise there, what would that look like for the county?
Good question.
Right now, it's all on
Liability?
us, because we have nothing, right? Which is why we need to get this done. We're starting year 3. This is not good. There is an insurance requirement that they have $1 million coverage,
Okay.
in this template. And I think that would be important,
So it's their own personal liability.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about too, if our insurance goes up because of this, then they would pay that difference. And I think that's fair as well.
We also agreed to take care of the grounds, and we agreed to do that.
Yes, yes.
I guess my thoughts on as far as for what we're asking for the rental of the building, I don't think we're that far off. What do you guys think?
No, I don't think so.
No, it was confirmed by specifically by two, well,
We did
three.
We did
That's
three-
right,
Three different.
yeah. And then we had some ancillary answers that were also complementary to those amounts, and we shot for the lowest.
That's right.
So I think based on that, I think we're more than fair. I'll negotiate up. I don't think we should negotiate down.
Okay. Job clear. All right. Anything that you're thinking?
No, I'm still just trying to clarify the maintenance responsibilities.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
just
Maybe,
clarify what you want there.
did Corey have a
Yeah,
copy of that? This
absolutely.
is kind of a guide maybe, and then.
Yeah.
Well, more of what you guys said today is what
Sure.
I'm trying to get clarity on.
Yeah,
I sent this to you before, I'll send it again, and then if we could all
Sure.
just include notes,
yeah.
and then you can incorporate it into it, it should be fairly easy.
Mhm.
But we do need, I think, a deadline to get this taken
We
care
do.
of.
It doesn't need to go on, stretch out there.
So right now, it had a start date of March 1st, which I would imagine probably won't happen. But maybe we could do prorated starting like March 15th, 2 weeks to make a decision. It's actually 3. And if he's not interested, then I suggest we go to phase 1 or plan 1 and sell it.
Agreed.
Sounds good. Alrighty, that's all I got for the moment.
Okay, so we got one other question for you. The intent to change our subdivision regulations to include those road fees. Is there any way, can we declare that now? That we're gonna change that regulation so that we don't have a flood of subdivisions coming here to avoid that regulation before it gets adopted?
And I'm not fully aware of the issue. It's the issue that you mentioned briefly today, correct?
Right.
So, I'm gonna have to do some work. I don't know the answer to that question.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a contentious area of law, so let me do some initial research just to find out. I know there's been some cases on it, but as far as what you're saying, which is, can you basically say, this is our intention for all subdivisions going forward?
Sure.
Yeah, because I think that when I was on the city council, that was the deal, was that if you initiated a discussion and you can document that it was initiated, then you can it can be retroactive to the date of the initial discussion, even if the regulation wasn't in place.
Yeah. No, I think you can do that and give notice and say, we're looking at this subdivision, change to our subdivision regulations with an effective date of February 25th. Even if the regulation's not adopted till March 25th,
Okay.
Perfect.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll work on the other issue though,
Okay.
and make sure we craft it so that it's.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. So I'm gonna submit, we need to pay some money on that Barris expert, so I'm gonna submit that back for a recommendation of an amount. And then I visited with with the company, I may have told you this, or I think I sent an email to you, that they're not gonna charge us any late fees or interest. They are discussing, I've asked them to discount some of their stuff, and then they're aware that this is gonna be a longer term process for paying it off, so as long as we pay a little bit and keep them in the loop, they're not gonna freak out.
We discussed it to pay their out-of-pocket expenses.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
very good.
Thank you, Corey.
Take care.
Thanks, Brooke.
Thanks, Gordon.
Is that the end of our agenda?
We have some more
Yes.
mail here.
Okay.
Let's see, we have a Broward County HAMS health alert for measles,
Thank you.
a retirement guys coming from Nationwide on Tuesday, March 5th from 9:30 to 12. The greetings from the Montana Local Government Center, that we got the Montana Local Government Profile for the fiscal year 2017. Have a letter here from Bob Brastrup on behalf of the Broadwater County Lions Club for a Easter egg hunt to be held Saturday morning, April 20th, 2019. Close the certificate of insurance for the event. We have to approve that?
We
request?
should, just so it's a matter of record. We do that every year.
Okay.
It doesn't cost us anything, so I would move that we support and allow the Lions to use the county grass for their event.
Is there a second?
There is a second, and then who required any type of special insurance coverage on that?
He's got a binder here.
He's got that there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The binder, yeah.
yeah, for certificate of
Okay.
insurance. Okay, a motion's been made, second to approve Brother County Lions using the Tiny Courthouse lawn for the egg and Easter egg hunt. Further discussion? Seeing none, have a vote, all in favor? Aye, opposed, same, motion carries.
And generally what we do is just send them a letter saying, you're good to go, we support it, so that they have that for their records.
That's pretty much it for the mail.
All right, good. So I have one thing to bring forward just for discussion. Talking with the sheriff, he's come across a vehicle that can be used for search and rescue. Search and rescue is in need of a new vehicle, and this is a 2013 Chevy Tahoe that came from Butte Silver Bowl that was shot up in the Barris chase. And Steve Ballard, who works for Bellwater Ford, still a licensed dealer, picked this vehicle up for $8,000, and he's offering it to search and rescue for $8,900. This vehicle has been run through Hedstrom's auto down there. It's been inspected. It's all in good shape and ready to go. The interesting thing about this vehicle, it still has the radar unit in it, the radio, the cage. It's got a lock box, kind of a special thing in the back that has all kinds of emergency equipment in it. Everything is fully equipped, so they can't use the cage and the radar and things like that, but that has value and can be sold put towards to purchase the vehicle or back into the search and rescue fund. So I feel this is a great opportunity for them, and a vehicle that we could put to get some good use that they're in need of. So I guess our discussion is to think about this, and then I'm proposing that next Monday, put it on our agenda and vote if we're so inclined to approve that.
Do they have the money in their budget?
And they do have the money in the budget?
All right.
Yep.
I agree with you, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it's one of those rare opportunities that comes along that we get to take advantage of.
right,
And so.
all right.
Yep.
So I have two questions, two things. I will be in Washington DC, part of that National Justice and Public Safety Committee meeting, leave Friday, and so I won't be here next Monday.
What?
Yeah,
So you can be gone next Monday?
yeah, we'll take snow there too. They'll have a record-breaking snowfall thanks to me.
All right.
Yeah. So, the other thing I had, for you is, the dates that, Max
Oh.
sent back for the road negotiations. Got an email back from Mary, and she is gone the week of the 11th through the 14th. So it looks like the only date that would work is the 21st. Daryl had said no to the 20th, I said no to the 5th and 7th. The 11th is a commission meeting. Mary said no to the 13th and 14th, it left the 21st. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gee whiz. We all that busy that,
Right? Yeah.
all right, so the 21st of March,
Yes.
road negotiations.
Yes. So we'll send that back as a
Okay.
team.
All right, and they haven't given us a time, but at least we got a date, right?
Right,
Okay.
right.
We don't know if tomorrow's on for sure or not.
I know tomorrow should be on, unless there's something with the roads, but that would be up to the union to cancel that. And that's all I had.
Did the notification for the 10 o'clock pre-caucus get sent to Mike Evans?
Oh, probably not,
Okay.
no. Yeah, so we should let him know. No, it didn't. A question I have is, we're going to be, or have, added to the agenda for Wednesday a closed door, for Julie Lethert. Do we want to also add a closed door to discuss the Barris litigation?
Is that for Wednesday?
Yeah. And in fact, I think my question is, do you guys mind if we post that too?
Yeah, we
Sure.
probably should for that,
Okay.
So we have Julie is at 12:30,
Yeah.
Weed Board is at 2:30.
Yes, although I haven't heard back from those
Okay.
guys. But we can still meet with them if they're able.
Okay. So what time did you want to do the closed door for Barris then?
Should be, say, 3 o'clock?
3?
Yeah. That
Do you have a
works.
Board of Health meeting?
Yeah, 1. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy day on Wednesday. And trust board is that day too.
I have a question on Board of Health. Since this room is getting so busy, if you would let me know what day they regularly meet, I will post it on the calendar, so.
Thank you.
It's getting to that stage.
It is. Yeah,
Don't we regularly meet the third Wednesday at 1 o'clock?
Third Wednesday, okay.
so this is a
I will-
different Wednesday.
But I will put it on the third Wednesday. for
Thanks,
now.
Ann.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, I guess we will adjourn.
Da-da-da.
2:32.
I was told we were only gonna be talking 20 more minutes, is why I sat there. It's scaring me.
How you doing, Alan?
Good.
Good.
Hi, Alan.